Hey all my future buyers and sellers out there, I am here to teach you more than you knew before about the real estate process. And today, gather real close because I'm gonna let you in on my #1 moving strategy. So whether you're a buyer, seller, or renter, we could all do some improvements. So settle in, grab your notebooks, and let the purging begin. Hey, it's Ella with Ella Estate Realty, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe for all the tips, hints, and hacks you can handle about real estate. And if that doesn't work, just leave me some love with some likes. All of you that are returning, you know I appreciate you, so I'll return the favor by stepping up your moving game. So when you think of the word purging, you know, it's not really about that blockbuster hit that we're all obsessed with. I'm not asking you to go kill your neighbor. No, I am talking about purging your personal belongings and how that benefits you during the moving process. But I'm talking about every room in your house. I am aiming to save you as much time, energy, and back pain as possible with less boxes to buy and less time for your movers to move things and even a smaller truck to purchase. Now, even though I'm not moving right now, I can honestly tell you I have plenty of experience in this process. So take my advice for what it is, because I got you. So I bet you guys are gonna think that I say start in your closet, because I think that's a natural instinct when you hear the word purge, organization, declutter. A lot of us like to hold on to our clothing items even if we don't use them, or accumulate 50 sweatshirts. I'm not calling anybody out, but it does happen. But no, actually, my favorite place to organize is the kitchen, and more specifically, the pantry. So let's open up where you store your food and take a look, because there is so much that you can probably get rid of. First off, let's start with the cans. So canned foods are super duper heavy, and I've had to use all kinds of contraptions to carry a couple at a time just because they are so heavy. So you can't put 50 cans in a box unless you want the box break. So first step is checking the expiration dates. Look over the can, see when it expires, and then look at the front of the can, even if it's not expired, if you're actually ever gonna eat that can of lima beans. Next up are seasonings and spices. Even though these don't smell or mold, they don't work the same after they expire. I mean, believe it or not, they do have an expired date. So make sure that you're getting rid of those spices that have been in your pantry for 20 years, or even maybe combining a couple together to create less clutter. And then lastly are your weird recipe endeavors. Totally guilty of this, where you find something on Pinterest and it needs, I don't know, soy sauce and red wine and almond flour. Hopefully not all together, but you go out and buy these little ingredients to make this recipe come together. You didn't care for the recipe, or you never actually made it, and it sits there ever since. Next, we will move on to a different section in your kitchen, the cabinetries. Even though that it seems clean from the outside because the door's closed and most of your kitchens don't have glass doors, on the inside is what I'm talking about. So cabinetries and drawers, the same. Let's tackle Tupperware. I know that you guys take a lot of Tupperware home from Thanksgiving, from your mom, and maybe it's time to give those Tupperwares back to her. Or how many Tupperwares do you have that don't have a matching lid, or a lid without a Tupperware? Time to get rid of those too. What about mugs? Are you guys chronic coffee mug collectors, and each one has ridiculous sentimental value even though it means nothing and you just got it from Home Goods because it was on sale? How many coffee mugs do you actually need? And then lastly, what else is in your cabinetry? Oh yeah, kitchen appliances and gadgets. I'm talking that blender, the magic bullet that you bought off that infomercial when infomercials were a thing, because you really wanted to have that smoothie life. Same with the juicer, and you never used it again. Donation time, or give it to somebody else that might use it more. That's always a possibility. So now you've successfully cleaned out your pantry, your drawers, and your cabinetry. Last but not least, your refrigerator and freezer. I'm talking about condiments, again, like spices that you'll never use again. I'm talking about deep cleaning your freezer because I know those things have a longer shelf life, so they tend to get left behind in the freezer. But they're not always good after that freezer burn. So when was the last time you guys looked in your freezer? And then the fridge. The number one rule for me in the kitchen, in food, as it applies to the fridge and the pantry, is that before you move, you should be strategically going out less and using the food you have already, so you can pack less of what you have for your next house and you're just carting less, because it's some of the heaviest stuff you can take, and it's the most temperamental, I think, because you got to keep it cold, or you got to keep it here, there. Just eat it before you go, or donate it, or get rid of it altogether. So let's clear out that kitchen. Next region of your house would be the bathrooms. Again, you have less connection to hold on to things, but it is a good place to find where you hoard all your medicines, cosmetics, and toiletries. We're going through first, medicine. Your medicine cabinet. Is it an accumulation of everything, every illness you've had in the last 15 years? Because most likely a lot of that medicine is expired, or you don't need to use it. Like, I know I got a specialty bug bite cream because I went camping once, and then I held on to it because who knows when another bug bite would get me, and never used it again. What about all those antibiotics from your surgeries that you've gotten, and you're thinking the world's gonna end, I need to hold on to these antibiotics? They expire too. And lastly, just regular cold medicine. It does go bad. Allergy medicine, cold, like the syrups, you don't want that spilling too. So just check the dates of everything, see if it's actually accurate, see if you actually need all of these things, and then strategically organize them in one place. Next up would be your toiletries. So I'm talking hairsprays, those 15 bottles of shampoo, hair serums. I mean, a good one to look out for is sunscreen, because we use it seasonally, but it does expire too. Taking a look at that, and even combining some stuff if you can, or donating it. Maybe you have a sibling that really needs more toiletries or something, and you're like, oh, I got all these samples and I never used them. Pass them on. As you move from room to room, I'm going to challenge you to take a look at the walls and take a look at the floors. I'm talking about the things that are hanging around that you're just not into anymore. Starting with the walls, I'm talking about artwork that you bought thinking it would be timeless and last you forever, and somehow your taste has outgrown it. Or that sparkly pink flower on the wall that you loved doesn't really go with your boyfriend's taste in your new place. So just maybe switching out some home decor or taking a second look at what you already have can save you some movability, because these things are more fragile. Or, you know, taking a look at the floor, is there additional furniture that has either been given to you or you've accumulated that doesn't really fit anywhere, doesn't actually have a purpose, but you're just trying to use it because you already have it and you haven't made your way down to giving it away? I don't want you to have any fillers, because fillers fill space on your moving truck and cost you more money, and most likely they're more fragile, so you have to be way more careful and use extra supplies to take care of them. And it's okay to outgrow your home decor. It's okay to get rid of your excess furniture that you never use. I'm telling you, maybe it's time to purge it, and then once you get to your new place, you'll be able to better design it, and it'll just have a whole new feel for you. So, paintings, rugs, extra furniture. Let's take a look. Okay, I can't avoid it anymore. We're gonna tackle the closet. Clothes, like I said, are some of the first things that come to people's mind about purging, but they have the most sentimental value for some reason, where you buy something and you remember the date where you wore it and the holiday. And I understand, I've been there. I love my clothes just as much as the next anybody, but it is something where it has multiple ways that you can get rid of it. They don't have expiration dates, but they have questions you can ask, like, does it fit anymore? Is it in fashion? Do you even wear it? These are qualifications collections that you can check. Every piece of clothing that you have. Do you have too many? You know, if you got all your white t-shirts in a pile and you end up having way more than you thought because you're finally going through your closet, that's progress. So more power to you. As for the rest of the bedroom, we have linens, bed sheets, you know, blankets, pillows. How many blankets do you have? Do they match anything? Are your pillows really old? And then if you have sheets for every season, or some of them are more tattered or have holes in them or stained, whatever, just, you know, look at it in front of you and see, do you want to take this into your new place? Do you want to pay a packer or have your friend move all this stuff for you? Are you going to use it in your new place? So it's time to downsize. Check into it. And then the same as clothing goes for shoes. Are they smelly? Do they fit anymore? Are they in fashion? You know, are you missing one shoe? I mean, pretty much the test goes, if there's an accumulation of dust bunnies on top of the shoe, then it's time for it to go because you never wear it. So just take a look at your collections in your bedroom, see what is purgeable, and go on to the next items. Whether you're in rooms or you're checking out the walls or the floors, there's going to be collectible objects that take up a lot of space, possibly are heavy, and are easily donatable. Easily donatable. I want you to take a look at 3 items. So first up is DVDs. Most of us have switched to online streaming services where we get all the DVDs we can handle from there. Disney Plus has, you know, your childhood nostalgia built into one, but hasn't stopped you from purchasing DVDs over the past years before this all came around, and you've accumulated a lot. And just like video games, they're stacking up with their thin boxes and going all the way up your wall. Next up is books. These are so heavy and can cost you lots of boxes and back pain. So take a look at the books, especially your college, you know, accounting books that you never opened after you flunked that class. Or the books that are for business and you've read them 3 times over, but you've gotten all that you can out of it. Maybe they'd be better off in somebody else's hands where they can get something out of it too. Lastly would be board games. And I know we're all guilty of it, buying the latest and greatest, and then we never learn the instructions. Or we play it so many times we lost half the pieces. Or we just never play any board games at all, even though we instinctually want to host board game party nights and it never happens. So I challenge you again to look through all the board games, see which ones are actually useful, see how many you've accumulated, and then donate the rest. Once you've made it through your house and you're working your way through each room, walls, floors, every nook and cranny, I need you to walk outside because I want to take a look at your garage and I want to take a look at your shed out back. We're looking for gardening supplies and lawn specialty items that you've accumulated over the years to make sure that your grass is the greenest on the block. But do you ever think about putting all of this in a box and shipping it to your new place, or being able to move it? Is it going to even go with your new backyard? Do you need 2 lawnmowers? One's broke down. Maybe it's time to part ways. Or do you need all those seeds and soils and pebbles and rocks that are left over from some of your projects? Maybe it's time to find those a new home in the trash. And you just need to know that when you move, you have to get every piece out of the house. So take a look at these areas and see if there's any surplus or anything that would just be odd to bring to your new place, or anything that you could, again, give away, trash, donate, or, you know, you have to hold on to. You gotta teach your kid the same things you're learning and purge together. So just sit down with your child and explain to them that, you know, them giving away toys, they'll find a new home where other kids will be able to be happy and play with them too, and it'll just be a learning experience. And who knows, your kid could totally inspire you to give away more. So just give them the opportunity to be involved with you too during this process. Okay, I might have blazed through a lot of ideas today, so if you guys have any further questions, just leave them down below for me about the real estate process, organization, purging. I got you. And my question of the day is, what is the hardest thing for you guys to get rid of? Because I feel like mine is clothes and office supplies. I just feel so guilty throwing away pens that still work. And it's weird to donate those. But my number one goal of this video today was just making this process as easy and efficient as possible, because moving can be so stressful on renters, buyers, sellers alike. And I'm just trying to do my part of helping you help yourself. And if you found this video helpful in the slightest, please leave me some love with some likes. I'm Ella with Ella Estate Realty, and you guys have a tremendous day.